I am a children's entertainer. I do storytelling, and I do some stage work, and I do balloon twisting. Tinnitus is what brought me in. I had been dealing with it for ages, and as I was getting older, it just kept getting worse and worse. Going to a restaurant was just almost impossible to understand what people were saying. And I didn't even realize just how bad it was getting. And one day I saw a commercial, and it was the one where there's no sound, which was effective as all get out, because I did hear the noise, and I'm like, oh my God, are they talking about me? It was really difficult for me to focus on people because I was so distracted. I was certainly one of those people that was like, surely you can hear this, because it was so loud. And I was having a hard time falling asleep. I was tense all the time, which was making me grouchy all the time. It was miserable, honestly. I have sort of moderate to severe tinnitus, and it was just nonstop. So even trying to like read a book, it was distracting. I'd read the same paragraph over and over because it was just so distracting to have that noise going on all the time without any relief to it at all. There were times when like the tinnitus was so bad, if trying to go to bed, the first thought was to put earplugs in just to sort of, make everything quiet. There is so much wrapped up in that, how tinnitus can make you stressed, but then the more stressed and the more worried and the more negative self-talk that you give yourself over it just makes the experience so much worse. It can really, truly make you miserable in a very literal sense to think, like, oh God, there's never going to be a break to this, and it's always going to be this bad.
Liam came into the office. He really was coming in for both tinnitus and hearing. His initial tinnitus functional index was a 47.2 with 70% awareness and 40% annoyance. In his case, it really seems that the tinnitus had such an impact on his ability to focus that even though hearing loss wasn't severe, it was the way that the tinnitus was impacting his limbic system and his emotional response center that really prevented him from being able to hear in some of the more difficult listening situations.
For me, finding out about the mechanics of how tinnitus works, just realizing that there is something that can be done about it, you don't have to settle for it and just accept that that's the way life is. That was honestly groundbreaking for me. The program is sort of threefold when you come here, between patient education, getting a device, and cognitive behavioral therapy. And the way that the three of them worked together, it just made it so much easier to understand what I was going through, and that there's something that you can do about it, and that you're not just a helpless victim and all that. It gave that element of hope. Yeah, maybe at first I didn't anticipate just how much help it was, and how easy it was too. It wasn't just throwing a pill at something. I would rather know solutions that are going to take care of the root cause versus treating symptoms. To me, it made me feel very heard and seen as an individual. It wasn't just a one-size-fits-all approach to it.
In his case, he did so well with that cognitive behavioral therapy side. He recognized how his emotional response center was responding and how he was in this cognitive distress cycle, put in the work. Even though he described everything as easy, he really put in the work to help calm his system down.
I came with the expectation that I'd be told, you're of an age, which as you get older, you hear that sentence a lot, and it's really annoying. And when it was explained to me how the ear actually works, learning what was actually causing the sound, how the mechanics actually worked with it, how there were like different areas of the ear that can contribute to it. It wasn't just because I was older, and it wasn't just because I listened to concerts when I was in my 20s. It was like, oh no, there are structural things, and we can do tests, and we can tell you what part of your ear specifically. I didn't feel like I was a victim in all of it, that I was a human being.
Part of Liam's success was the fact that he was active, involved, and he was actually excited to learn about the process. It wasn't that he was looking for this quick fix, make me better. He wanted to understand it, why tinnitus was there, why what we're doing was going to help, and how that worked. And that really just added to his success of the understanding that entire process made it so much easier for him and for me to get him to where he is today.
Having a toolbox full of things I can try of, deep breathing or progressive muscle relaxation or all the other things that I learned. And it's good to have that, well, this isn't working for me, but maybe I should try this. And the more of those tools that you have, the better off you're going to be in the long run. It became a lifestyle change, not just a tinnitus change.
So as you could see, Liam was doing awesome. His tinnitus functional index has dropped all the way down to 4.8 from 47.2. And he really says he has only about 10% awareness of his tinnitus now and no annoyance.
I went from almost being aware of it all the time in a very negative way to now sometimes I sort of wonder, I'll stop and, is it still there? Is it bugging me? And sort of do like a self-assessment. The majority of the day, I don't notice my tinnitus at all. And it's been such a 180 experience from where I was day one, where I was that led me to looking you guys up online and then making that phone call to where I am now. Just a change in my entire life as to how much relief I have, how lower my stress is. It's helped to change my relationships. My marriage is a lot better. I just hope somebody out there takes that chance. Roll the dice and make that call, because you're not committed to anything after that first appointment. It's up to you, and you're part of that team. And that, for me, that was a big thing, that I wasn't just another patient. I wasn't a rubber stamp. I don't know, I just felt very validated, and knowing that I wasn't alone in the process.
As he mentioned, he still has days where his tinnitus is more noticeable, but he really has an answer to that. Usually he knows what his triggers are for his tinnitus, and then he has the tools that he needs to manage it. The use of breathing exercises and muscle relaxation, and just that understanding and that mindset shift even easier for patients.
There is hope. There is things you can do. You're not subject to this as just, oh, well, I have to live with it. You can make that change in your life. And you are going to be so happy that you did that, because life is so much better